Good evening. The deadline to file your income tax returns is just 2 weeks from today. You'll recall that Arizona's tax season started in January with dire warnings of chaos.
12 News journalist Bram Resnick tells us that it appears that most taxpayers haven't been listening, and even Governor Katie Hobbs has changed her message. Bram?
Now, Caribe, the year started with confusion over whether Arizona would adopt some or all of the Trump tax cuts passed last year. Fast forward to today. Arizona taxpayers are filling out tax forms that include all of the tax cuts. Tax returns are tracking at about the same rate as last year, and Governor Hobbs now says you should feel confident doing your Arizona's taxes. Here's how tax season started back in January.
The chaos that is to come is a Hobbs creation.
A capital standoff focused on whether Arizona would adopt all or just some of last year's federal tax cuts. The testy debate between Democratic Governor Katie Hobbs and Republican leaders coming as Arizona's tax forms were being printed.
I'm frustrated that we are in a situation that is creating uncertainty for filers.
Here's how it's ending. Governor, have you filed your tax return yet?
I have not, but it's on my to-do list this weekend.
Just 2 weeks before the April 15th filing deadline, taxpayer and Governor Katie Hobbs showed no uncertainty.
Every Arizonan should feel confident filing their tax return.
Turns out Arizonans already felt confident. According to the State Department of Revenue, the 1.97 million individual tax returns filed as of Friday, March 27th, were just 1,400 returns fewer than the filings by the same time last year.
We've drawn a pretty hard line in the sand here.
Republican J.D. Mesnard of Chandler chairs the state Senate's tax writing committee. The January standoff with Hobbs produced a tax return that reflects all of President Trump's tax cuts, known as full conformity.
We can essentially say we're going to do nothing, and the forms that were put out by the Department of Revenue will be good for the taxpayer.
The state's 2025 tax forms include crowd pleasers like no taxes on tips, no taxes on overtime, and a new $6,000 tax deduction for seniors. But there's no such thing as a free lunch.
The Republicans need to show us how they're going to pay for full conformity.
Another standoff looms over the tax cuts, including business tax breaks. They'll cost more than $400 million this year alone.
But for the current year, it's something we could definitely handle, and we should do it for the taxpayers.
Now, there were also warnings earlier in the year that taxpayers might have to file amended returns if the legislature and governor tinkered with the tax forms. We can safely say that in an election year, lawmakers who are on the ballot will not try to claw back your tax refund. Bram Resnick, 12 News.
Probably very advisable. Bram, thanks.